Hey everyone. Yes, it's been a minute, but I'm back. I could not come on video in good conscience of keeping it authentic and being genuine and being honest in the space I was in. Hence the title of this video. I was not okay. After the last video, I shared with y'all, I know one of the things I said was like, sometimes you have a space where you're like, God, I don't want to talk to you. Like, I don't have nothing to say. And that's a real feeling. That's a real space to be in. And everyone may not experience that. Everyone may not come to that type of, I don't want to say conclusion, but in your mind at the time, it's somewhat of a conclusion. But, I termed it my sunken place, right? And, we all, if you watched Get Out, which it took me forever to watch that, random fact, Claudia. But if you watch that, it was just a space where it was like, you're kind of out of your own mind, right? Something else is controlling, your thought process, your awareness, right? And we're not going to get deep on that today, but after church yesterday, which I'm so grateful for, it was like, it just broke off of me. And I was like, I have to share, because I promised, I committed to sharing the grief journey with you all and the different stages that you go through, be it because of your personal grief, be it because of the thing that you encounter as a result of losing a loved one, which adds on to grief. Like, there's so many different scenarios, right? And it just broke. And I'm so grateful, because there's literally a time when it was God that got me through this point. Because when I tell y'all, the last 3 weeks, maybe almost a month, even with my fun adventures to Aruba and everything, I was really avoiding. I was keeping myself distracted because I didn't want to deal with some of the realities of the things that I was experiencing. I'm realizing you all are getting this. Well, oh well. This was a visor from my father. So whatever, you're going to see two of me. And without a shadow of a doubt in your mind, I didn't get myself out of this. But for me, there was a transition in my experience with God, in my relationship with God, because the biggest things I've been able to say now is when I say He is joy in sorrow, I know that now. When I say He is a mind regulator and a keeper of your mind, even when you don't want to be kept, I know that now, without a shadow of a doubt. Because I had time in these, well, I'm going to just say month to keep it succinct. In this last month, I had times where it's like, God, I know you're there, but I don't want to talk. I had times when I said, I'm going to just numb myself out. I'm not going to think about anything. I don't want to feel anything. And an overwhelming feeling of the presence of God hit me. And it's like, Jasmine, you can't ignore me because I'm right here. You can try to, but I'm right here. And it's like, whatever. Like, and God knows His child. And I'm so grateful for who He is in my life, because there's a point where you really think you're doing something. Like, okay, I'm just not going to talk. And God has a way of like, okay. And my entire life, God always be like, okay, I'm gonna let you do what you think you're doing. Cause you ain't doing nothing. Cause I'm right here. And the one thing that hit me yesterday at church, and then even at another event that I went to, was I am God's and He is mine. I've made that commitment with my life, and even in the worst of feelings, in the worst of circumstances, that doesn't change. So as much as I may go into myself because I'm trying to figure stuff out, He's still my God. And I can't allow myself, and we're back. I can't allow myself to forget that, to even ignore that, because that is, I'm sure some people could give a testimony and say, life-altering, life-threatening. It can really mess you up. And so even now, I just thank God for giving me a heart of repentance and giving me a heart to acknowledge Him. Because I couldn't imagine going through this without God. I'm a very feeling person. I feel. It's part of my personality. He created me that way. I'm not ashamed of it. But I recognize and I am aware that when I feel those deep feelings, sometimes I have to pause. Because if not, your mind will just take you everywhere. And not to mention the other stuff that happens in life that exacerbates things, right? That exacerbates what you feel, what you experience, what the choices you make because of what you've been through. Like, never mind just your personality type, okay? So I say all that because I'm grateful, and I am in a much better place than I have been. To every single person that I'm thinking of you, I'm praying for you, I'm checking in on you, thank you. And I love you all so much. Even those that haven't said it to me and have prayed and have kept me in their prayers, thank you. I just want to encourage you all and say, if you're going through that dark space, if you're going through a space where it's like, God, I'm doing me, I don't want to talk to you because I'm feeling whatever it is I'm feeling. I feel like I got antennas. But if you're there, it's okay to be there and to feel that. But as my mentor, Unc, said, that's what you have to get a rein on. Because many of feelings have completely altered and damaged people's lives because of the choices that were made. I'm so grateful that God is gracious and merciful, because I made bad choices, but He's kept me in them. And this experience of this month especially has shown me not to take that for granted. It just broke off yesterday. Like I said, it broke off. So I want to give you 3 things, and I'm going to start in, what would you say, ascending order. The first thing I would share with you is that know your people. The people who are in your lives that help you get through your hardest times, that help you stay focused, that help you stay on track. It was friends. It was certain family members that I just was around or spoke to or stayed in some type of contact with that helped me to keep pushing, whether it was a word they said, whether it was a conversation we had, whether it was just something that they did. And shout out to my mom and my grandma, because I just love those 2 women. And of course, the besties and everyone else, my sisters and just my family. You know who you are. You know you've been with me in this space. Know who your people are. the people that allow you to go through the changes without harming you, without hurting you. And be gracious, because even sometimes changes we go through and changes that everybody else goes through can alter how we interact with each other for various reasons. And you just have to be gracious, but don't lose sight. That's one thing, like with your feelings, they can jack you up because you can be like, oh, what? And it's like, no, just give grace and give space. Because when you know who your people are and you love on those people and they love back on you, that's who you need to take time to appreciate and remain connected to, right? Because seasons come and seasons go, but you know when it's solid. And appreciate those people. Don't take them for granted, because, like I said, just a word or a conversation can snatch you out of that sunken place. Honor, number 2, honor your space where you're at. I really experienced this with work, because our culture is such go. And yes, you have to pay your bills. You have to do what you have to do. But sometimes you need to honor where you're at. And everybody goes through that differently. For me, sometimes I need to step away. And sometimes I will push past that because of expectations or what I think I have to do. And it's like, no, because if I'm not okay, nothing I do is going to be okay. And that's facts, period, point, and blank, right? So honor your space, whether it's in work, whether it's your family, whether it's your spouse, children. Make sure you take time to honor, this is what I'm feeling and this is what I need to be aware of, because if I'm not aware of it, I can interact with those people that I love in the strangest of ways. Like, shout out to my mom. She just knew, and mothers always know. They just have this mother's intuition, as they say. But she was checking in because she knew something was off, and I'm just grateful. Back again. Finally, most importantly, God. Allow yourself to be honest with him about where you are, but recognize that he never leaves you. He never forsakes you. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm so thankful. I'm so very thankful to God, because I really let my mind go. I let my mind go from a range of emotions and feelings, actions. But he never leaves us. He never leaves us. We go away from him, but he never leaves us. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the word of God that came forth, because God just wants us to get back to him. And he does everything he can for us to come back to him. He doesn't want us to ever forsake him, because he's not ever going to forsake us. And that's the best and safest place that we can be. I'm so very grateful that as far as the East is from the West, is how he separates me from sin when I am in him, when I am walking with him. He doesn't beat me up. He doesn't beat me up over my head. He doesn't keep trying to remind me the enemy, our adversity, that comes to distract us, to get us off of where God is taking us. But even today, I just heard he began a good work in me and he's going to complete it. And I'm going to just live and see everything that God has put in my spirit come to fruition, because I know that that is part of why I'm going through. To Papa Hell, thank you. I don't even know if you'll see this video, but I haven't lost my faith. I just got lost in my grief, in my feelings. And I won't ever give up on God, because he's never, ever given up on me. So I'm going to stop and just encourage you all. Catch your mind. Grab your mind. Whatever you got to do. Be with your people. Take your space. Lean into God, because that is what's going to keep your mind. I love y'all.